Dharshan from the Dharshan Diaries, and before we get into the interview, I just want to say I'm very sorry for not uploading the whole of last year. It was a pretty big year for me as it was my PSLE. But now that's all out of the way, I have got into SOTA. So I have a whole lot more people that I'd love to interview for you guys to inspire you guys. Now, some of you may know Lance Alexander from the TV show First Look Asia on Channel News Asia every morning from Mondays to Fridays. In the past, Lance Alexander has also was also part of a weekly sports show, and he even used to be a radio DJ on 98.7, and I'm sure some of your parents might even know him from there. So today we're going to interview him, so let's get right into it. Hello, Lance Alexander. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview.
Darshan, is an absolute treat.
Let's start the interview by me asking, how did you get interested in broadcasting?
I'll tell you how I got started. It happened in a roundabout sort of a manner. I wanted to get into social work. So I sent in a few letters. Unfortunately, it was rejected. And a friend told me, hey, you've always enjoyed watching TV. You've always enjoyed listening to the radio. Why don't you give it a shot to maybe go into being a radio DJ? So I said, all right. So I went for an audition and I got in. And I joined a very popular at that time, this is going to date me, it's about 30 years ago. I started with a radio station called 98.7 FM. It's still around today.
Yeah.
So we were part of a 10 member DJing outfit, and it was a lot of fun. I could play music and I got paid for it. Can't complain.
Wow. So who inspired you the most, like other than that friend of yours who told you like to start broadcasting, or what?
Yeah, because of my interest in music, and getting to meet people who are in the music industry, that was the best fun. Being able to interview them, being able to play their music, being able to talk about their music too, that was a lot of fun. There's this good friend of mine, Emmanuel Bungaro. Him and I, we did a show called The A-List. Some people still remember it and some people still talk about it, and I get a real kick out of it. So they talk about us breaking new ground by playing new music. So that was a lot of fun.
Right now, today, 2019, from music to sports to current affairs,
Yes.
Is there one area that was an area of passion for you, or do you just love broadcasting?
I've grown to love broadcasting. When I started off in music, after a couple of years there, I moved on to TV. I did the morning show about 26, 27 years ago. And then I got into sports. And now I'm doing general news. So I've done the full spectrum, you can say. I've done entertainment, I've done sports, I've done general news, and I enjoy all fields. Sometimes we get a chance to interview musicians. Sometimes I get the chance to interview sports people, and I also get to interview politicians or people who are who are political analysts. So that's great fun because I enjoy different things. I think it's important to know a bit about entertainment, a bit about sports, and also what's happening in the world today. So it's important that people always learn a bit about all three.
I think that's really nice that you are exposed to every single part of broadcasting. But what kept you in this industry, or what was the main thing that told you I want to continue doing this?
That's a great question, Darshan. I think curiosity. I think it's always important to be curious, to know what's going on. And if you lose that spark of curiosity, you probably lose interest too. So it's important, especially someone your age, to always remain curious, always wanting to know what's happening. Maybe in your neighborhood, maybe at school, maybe around the world as well. So it's important to always stay curious because that's a big spark, and that's kept me in the business for a while.
So I think a lot of our viewers would also like to know what do you all do behind the scenes that we do not get to see. Basically, because in theatre, one big thing is that the sound design, the stage managers, and they don't see them, but they do a lot of work.
That's another great question. You know, I wake up every morning at about 3:30 in the morning. My show starts at 7 a.m., but I wake up at 3:30 in the morning. The first thing I do when I wake up is I go through what are the big news stories for the day. So I check and I see that, okay, these are the stories we'll be focusing on. When I get to work, I meet up with my producers and my news editors, and we decide exactly how we're going to play it. You know, what's the rundown? What are the main stories? Who are the interviews we're going to have for the morning belt? And also, we have a lot of people behind the scenes. Like you said, people may just see the people, like for you, you know, on stage, but they don't know there's a big team behind. And there are about 20 to 30 people behind the scenes that no one sees. People who work the studio. You know, you've got your camera crew, you've got your studio directors, you've got your soundmen, so and women. You know, so you have a lot of people who are working behind the scenes who also deserve the credit, because although they may see just maybe a couple of us in front of the camera, there's a whole big team, and everyone needs to be applauded, because when we do a show, although they see just the two of us, there's a lot of teamwork to make sure it goes well.
I think that is something that is in all the industries, but I'm so happy that our viewers know what it's like, especially for a morning TV show on Channel News Asia. Out of all the people in show business, especially that you have interviewed, who did you like the most and why?
The interviews I enjoyed the most would probably be two or three. And they're all, like you said, they're all in the showbiz game. When I was doing radio, I interviewed Janet Jackson, and that was fantastic. I interviewed Sting. He was really nice as well. So these were big coups for me, because I got to interview two of the people whose music I absolutely adore. For TV, a few years back, I interviewed Jackie Chan, and
Wow.
he was such a great interviewee. You know, we sat down and we spoke for 15-20 minutes. I wish I could have put those 15-20 minutes out so that everyone could have seen the full interview, but I had to cut it down to just 8-9 minutes. But it was fantastic. He was very honest. He was telling me things about his family, about how he does his work, because even to this day, if you see him acting in movies, he does his own stunts. So he takes great pride in making sure he's involved in the entire production. Yeah, so I really enjoyed speaking to Jackie Chan, to Janet Jackson, and Sting. So three of my best interviews.
Well, I'm sure our viewers, like most of them, Janet Jackson and Jackie Chan, they're probably their idols and inspirations.
Yeah.
So have you met any of your idols or heroes?
Yeah, those three would definitely be them. Now I do a series called Coffee with the Boss, and I get to speak to a lot of people in different industries. You know, either in business, or in entertainment, or in sports. And there was this one interview I really enjoyed. His name is George Santorel. He runs Allianz. And he said something that still stays with me. He said, if you're going to do something, if you're given a chance at a job, even though you don't know the job, assume that you do. Take on the role and the confidence that you can do it. He said, and that will give you the confidence, because you have to believe that you can do it. And once you believe that, you'll be able to assume the role, you'll be able to make decisions. Sometimes they may be wrong decisions, but you learn. The whole thing is a learning process. So you've got to remember, if you get a chance or you say you want to do something, assume you can do it. Have the confidence you can do it, take the responsibility. And you know what? In the end, you will be able to succeed.
Wow. Have you ever been surprised? Because you've interviewed a lot of people. So have you ever been surprised or had an answer to a question that really surprised you?
Okay, I have to talk about another interview I did, a sports person, Boris Becker, a very famous tennis player. You know, he's a multiple Grand Slam winner. I thought I was interviewing him, but he was interviewing me. And he said, you know, Lance, he said, do you have children? And I said, yes, I do. And he said, you know, sometimes you think you are teaching your kids. He said that is wrong. So I was puzzled by what he said. So I said, it's wrong. He said, no, your kids are actually teaching you. So I said, how is that? He said, you actually learn from your children. And I didn't quite understand it at that point, you know, but you know what? He's right. because as you become a parent and you look after your children, you learn a lot of things from them. You learn patience, you learn being tolerant, you know you learn to be someone who's a facilitator, someone who guides people along. And I think that is so important. So you think you have all the answers when it comes to teaching kids, but sometimes the kids' innocence and the way they tell you things, you actually end up being more humbled by their answers and what they say. So yeah, you can learn a lot from children. So like right now, I'm really pleased that I'm talking to you, because I know in a few years' time I'll probably be interviewing you.
Thank you. And I'm sure all the people who are watching this video who are parents, including my parents, they can agree with everything that Mr. Lance Alexander has just said. So, what's next for you?
What's next for me? That's another good question. I'll tell you that I'm actually thinking about a career in radio, going back to radio. So maybe doing a 360. I started off in radio many years ago, many moons ago. So now I'm looking at maybe going back to radio. So I may be leaving television, and I'm looking at going into radio, just to give it a go and see how I do.
Try.
Yeah, why not? But I won't be playing music. It's going to be more news based. Very likely, I'll probably be doing evening drive time. So when you're finishing school, maybe you'll be able to tune in.
Yeah.
Will you tune in?
Yeah, I will.
Good boy.
Yes, I will. If you were not on MediaCorp's First Look Asia, what would you be doing right now?
Oh my goodness, that's a tough one. Look, I always wanted to be a doctor, but I was poor in science. So I don't think I would have qualified as a doctor. So maybe I found the industry that's just perfect for me. I enjoy talking to people, I enjoy communicating with people, and that chance of just a friend telling me, hey, why don't you give it a go? I didn't think that from being a radio DJ and having a bit of fun, that it would last for such an extended period of time, and I'm still here. I'm still rocking, I'm still enjoying what I do.
Wow, that's amazing. So, guys, if you have something that you love and you want to pursue, just go for it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so here is my signature question. What advice would you give your 12-year-old self on what to focus on and what skills to build to be in the broadcasting world?
Okay, I would say make sure you pick something that you know you're going to enjoy. Because if you're going to go into an industry that you're not going to enjoy, it's not going to be a lot of fun. And if you're going to be doing something, if you're going to go into broadcasting, I would say 2 or 3 things. Be confident, have a can-do attitude, stay calm, and be fearless. Because those things are important if you're looking at wanting to be someone in the broadcasting industry, especially if you're going to be someone like you in front of the camera. So, yeah, sometimes you may get people who may criticize what you do, but you have to just take it. That's why I say be fearless, be confident, because you only learn. Every step that you make, you progress. You're going further and further. And before you know it, like I said as well, you start off being confident. If this is the industry you're keen on, you know what, and you're going to succeed, you will succeed.
I think those words can really inspire some people. So thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Doing this interview.
My pleasure.
And, our viewers who aspire to become a broadcaster in the future are definitely grateful for the advice that you've given them. So thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you guys go ahead and like the video and share it to as many people as you can. Share it to the people who are interested in broadcasting, or if you know people who watch First Look Asia. And there are going to be a lot more Dharshan Diaries episodes coming soon. So make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the bell, the notification bell, so that you stay notified whenever we upload. I think that's all for now. And yes, have a fantastic day and see you all later. Bye.
Bye. Dharshan, a face of the future.